The Louvre, the world's biggest museum, a symbol of France, now a crime scene. On Sunday morning, in broad daylight, a gang of 4 professional thieves used this mechanical ladder to reach a first-floor window of the Galeria d'Apollon. Using battery-powered disc cutters, 2 of them broke into the gallery's most ornate rooms, housing France's royal jewels. Threatening security guards, they proceeded to smash display cases, stealing 9 items before trying to set fire to the ladder vehicle, then making their escape on scooters. No one was injured in the robbery, with the museum being evacuated and closed for the rest of the day. The 9 stolen items all date from France's 19th century royalty and are encrusted with thousands of diamonds and other precious gemstones. They include a brooch that once belonged to Empress Eugenie, wife of Napoleon III, and a pair of emerald earrings. Empress Eugenie's crown was found near the scene, apparently dropped by the thieves in their haste to get away. The ornate crown features golden eagles and is covered in 1,354 diamonds and 56 emeralds. Investigators are checking it for damage. It's thought criminals prefer to steal jewels because they can be broken down and sold for cash, whereas it's harder to make money from precious stolen artworks, which are easily recognizable. Given these pieces' cultural and historical importance, it's been deemed impossible to put a value on them. The embarrassing incident has raised serious questions about security procedures protecting the museum's collection of over 500,000 items.
This operation lasted almost 4 minutes. It was very quick. We have to say that these are professionals. Organized crime today targets objects of art, and museums, of course, have become targets. Because France, as you know, is a country of heritage, a country with historical objects of heritage with great value.
France's embattled President Emmanuel Macron has vowed prosecutors will do everything possible to bring the thieves to justice, posting, "The theft committed at the Louvre is an attack on our heritage that we cherish because it is our history." Tourists evacuated from the museum were bewildered at what had happened.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. That's crazy, right? Wow, yeah, no. That's something for keep in mind for history, something we won't forget. We could not go to the Louvre because had a robbery.
Well, when you rob the Louvre, that's a big deal to all of France, so I knew something was up because of the way they swept the whole museum. So.
But it's great. This is our last day of a long trip, and this is the most exciting part today.
You know, you think in the Louvre, of all places, don't they have like the best security on the planet? So it's crazy. I'm thinking an inside job, maybe?
Others were less surprised, including museum employee and union leader Elise Muller.
Alerts have been issued for months and months by all safety and security personnel, in particular to highlight the flaws and problems we are facing daily. And in fact, management completely ignored all these alerts. And today, what we feared happened, looting and pillaging.
Earlier this year, President Macron announced a 6-year renovation of the museum, estimated to be costing several hundred million euros. Its focus was on dealing with the record-breaking number of visitors and building failures, but security concerns may now be prioritised. The Louvre has suffered heists before, most notably when the Mona Lisa was stolen in 1911 by a former worker, Vincenzo Peruggia. It wasn't recovered until 1913, when Vincenzo attempted to claim a reward for locating it. Some experts think these thieves will struggle to capitalise on their crime.
These pieces are too well known, too publicised. It's a bit like when the Mona Lisa was stolen. You see, the thief at the time didn't realise the scale of his act. Here, the pieces are unsellable, except that they are made of precious materials. But we are at 10, 20, 100 times the intrinsic value of the objects, since there is considerable historical value there.
Historique considérable.
The Louvre has remained closed today. Its popularity has been boosted in recent years with stories of fictional break-ins in novels like The Da Vinci Code and TV shows like Lupin.
Et vous sortez millionnaire.
Now museum authorities are dealing with the reality. facing tough questions of complacency and competency at a time when France itself is teetering on political and economic chaos. Losing these priceless jewels now is not just a blow to this former royal palace turned museum, but to a proud symbol of the Republic itself. Well, joining us now is Christopher Marinello, an attorney who specialises in recovering stolen works of art. Christopher, thanks for speaking to us. Firstly, what was your initial reaction when you heard the news about the Louvre heist?
Well, I was shocked that thieves managed to infiltrate the Louvre. I mean, over the last few months, there have been many thefts at smaller museums all over the world, all over Europe. But to hit the Louvre, that's a pretty big piece.
This is not the first time the Louvre has suffered a heist before, but it was an incredibly simple and effective plan, using a ladder, using ordinary tools. What does this say about the security situation at the museum?
Well, the Louvre is one of the most well-funded museums in the world, and the security is, generally speaking, the best in its class. Unfortunately, there was some construction going on at the Louvre. Perhaps it was a little bit lax on that particular day, although the fact that someone was working on a Sunday at 9 a.m. should have raised a red flag. That's kind of an unusual thing, especially for Paris. But you know, there was the jewels were kept near a window in a case that could be broken into with the right tools, and the criminals brought the right tools.
It's being said it'll be a lot easier to get rid of the jewels into the black market. They can be broken down. It would be much harder if they had stolen a piece of artwork. What should investigators, in your experience, be doing now? Because they're in a race against time, aren't they?
That's right. There's over 60 investigators working with the French police right now that are trying to locate the gangs that were responsible. They're trying to infiltrate every single source that they know, because they recognize that the thieves are trying to hide the crime by breaking up the jewels. They don't care at all about the cultural significance of the pieces. They're just looking at the raw diamonds, sapphires, and emeralds, and they need to take them to a place to break them up, like Antwerp, Tel Aviv, even India. Find a dodgy jeweler who will break them up for them and make them completely untraceable.
And in terms of making them untraceable, I mean, this is news around the world. The authorities will be on watch. How easy is it to sort of get these jewels over borders, and will they have to wait some time before they can try to sell them on the black market?
Unfortunately, it's not that difficult. You could sew jewels inside a lining, get them through an airport. You know, once you take the metal out, they won't go off, and get them to a country where you can find a dodgy jeweler who won't ask any questions and cut a larger stone into smaller stones. And then they've succeeded in monetizing their crime.
And what is the lesson for museums, big and small, around the world after this heist?
If you have gold, if you have jewels of this magnitude, lock them up, because they're coming for you next. That's the message. We have to our smaller museums that don't have this kind of funding need to consider putting these types of items in a lower ground floor, in a vault-like atmosphere where thieves cannot easily get to. Museums should also consider perhaps a photo entry system where you need to show a passport or photo ID to get into a museum, which might discourage future thieves from casing the joint in advance. I know a lot of people will complain about privacy issues, but you know, I don't have a problem showing my passport at the airport. I don't have a problem showing a passport at a museum, because I'm not there to steal anything.
The Louvre is about to undergo extensive renovations. Do you think they should think carefully about security, potentially moving items to other locations now?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, they need to, like I said, the Tower of London has a very good system in place for protecting the British Royal Crown jewels. And unfortunately, every museum that has diamonds and jewelry of this nature has to consider that level of security.
And in terms of where we might see the investigation going next, we know that there were 4 individuals involved. Will they be able to identify these guys at all?
The BRB, the French local police, are very good. I've worked with them in the past, and the OCBC in France, terrific investigators, great police officers, and I'm convinced that they will catch these guys eventually. But as we have seen at the Blenheim Palace theft, where they stole the golden toilet, and the Green Vault in Dresden in 2019, arrests are made, criminals go to jail, but the jewels are never recovered.
Christopher, thank you very much.
Thank you.